What's up guys, Mason the Brock Henderson here. So, based on this title of this video, you're either going to be pissed or you're going to be understanding. I feel like some people, mainly the people that watch my channel, will probably be pissed because most of the people that comment on my Atlanta United videos are typically the, oh, you just gotta support, man. You're not a real fan if you don't just support them. So, yeah, let's get down to it. Yeah, I can't support Atlanta United, at least for the time being. And this wasn't an easy thing. This isn't just like, oh, a few things happen, I'm just done. I can't. If you've watched my videos, you know I've not been happy ever since DeBoer came in. I wasn't happy with that decision. Watching us perform under DeBoer wasn't exciting, and there's just so much that's happened since DeBoer's come in that has just slowly started to lose my support. And then just over these past couple weeks, some things have happened that I'm just like, I can't. I'm done. I can't support a team that doesn't seem like they want to either have supporters or want to perform well or want to be the best team in the league. It feels like that desire is just gone. So I'm just going to go ahead and talk just a little bit and rant about some of what led to this. First of all, going into this season, a lot of issues. A lot of issues that I just don't understand. I don't understand what happened. I don't understand who's in charge of our transfers and all of that. But somebody ought to get fired. And of course they're not going to because they're just like, it's the MLS, who cares? But seriously. And first of all, you let DeBoer push Parkhurst out, which then of course made him ready to retire because we weren't giving him game time for some stupid reason. But you let that happen. You let LGP leave, which he wasn't like the best player. He wasn't the best defender we had, but heck, he's better than Meza. He's better than Walks. So what are we doing? You let Gressel leave. Hello. He's one of the most average players in the MLS until you put him out in the right wing back, and then all of a sudden he's one of the best at right wing back. Why did we get rid of him? You let Nagby leave. Well, that was his decision, so we couldn't keep. You can keep a player. You can say, look, what do we got to do? What do we got to do to make this work? Do you want us to, give you a raise? Like, what do you want that'll stay here? And yeah, it could be literally a situation where he's just like, look, I just want to go back home. It's nothing against the club. It's not about money. I just want to go. If that's the case, then okay. There's nothing you can do about that one. But you let Tito leave. You just didn't do anything to keep a lot of these players. And then you bring in, what? Brooks Lennon. You brought in, Mateus Rossetto. You brought in Fernando Meza. You brought back Anton Walks. You brought back all these players in that just are not the same level of quality that we had. They're MLS quality, but we were better than an MLS team. We were better than that. We were a good, talented, fun-to-watch team. And then you brought all these players in that are not that. They're not better than MLS quality. They're not fun to watch. They're just players. They're just MLS players. They'll do fine in the MLS. They'll win some games. They'll lose some games. They're just okay. And that's not what we were. As a club, that's not the type of team we were. We were one of the best. We were a club that if you came to face us, you knew you had to pack it in. You knew you had to bring your A game. Under DeBoer, that started to change a little bit because we started to be more focused on possession than actually attacking teams, so we didn't scare them as much. But we were still one of the more talented teams based on who we had. And then you bring in some of this talent and just there's nothing. And of course, it wasn't helped that Joseph Martinez got hurt. Like, that does dent your team a lot. But we've got to be better than one player. We've got to be a better team than just, oh, we lost our star player. Well, I guess we just suck now. You can't be like that. You've got to have options. You've got to have a team that is solid even without your star striker. If losing one player detriments you as a team and basically makes it to where you can't score, well, you're not really one of the best teams in the league anymore, are you? So that was frustrating. Then we bring in like Kubo Torres. We brought in Jurgen Damm. They've featured a little bit, but they're not really anything special either. So just like we brought in all of these players that just aren't the same quality. So that was already put me off on a bad foot. Then the MLS's back tournament happens, and I had my little rant about that. We went in thinking it was just preseason, right? Like that's what this is. Lost 3 games, 1-0, all of them. That's a problem. You don't score a goal, you lose all 3 games. That's a problem. DeBoer lost his job. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe we can turn things around now. Maybe this is our chance to say, all right, under DeBoer we weren't good. We weren't good enough. So let's step it back up. Let's work. Let's put some fire in our souls. Let's actually do something. And then we barely beat Nashville 1-0. And I actually did a review for that game. I don't know, I didn't really like the setup I had. I was in Ohio visiting family at the time, so I tried to do a review, but it just didn't look that good. So I was just like, you know what, I just won't. Basically, my whole thoughts on the game were great that we won, but God, we still look boring as hell. We still don't look fun to watch. DeBoer is gone, but his style is still here. It's still slow build-up play that leads to almost nothing. Where's the change? We got DeBoer out. We got DeBoer out. Finally, where's the change? Where's the, all right, guys, look, we weren't good enough. Let's step it up. We went 3 games without winning a single one, without scoring a single goal. Let's step it up. Now we'll eke by Nashville 2-0. Just barely. And honestly, 2-0 doesn't sound like barely. Watching the game, it was barely. Like, we didn't do much to put Nashville under pressure. We were boring to watch. And then the more controversial thing happened. And I'll be perfectly honest, it didn't happen on a good day for me either, which probably put a little bit more of a sour taste in my mouth because I was driving all day, because I was heading home from Ohio with my girlfriend back to Georgia. And even like on the way, we end up nearly, end up spilling coffee all in our car because I'm driving and all of a sudden this guy drifts into my lane. Anyways, so it wasn't having a good day. So I'm like, you know what? We're playing we're playing Inter Miami tonight. Inter Miami may be one of the few teams that are worse than us right now. Maybe we can turn it around here. And maybe we can finally get a game where we actually play. And then I turn on the game and none of them are playing. And I'm just like, what's going on? And then come to find out, I've been hearing all this stuff about the NBA boycotting games and laughing at how stupid that is. And, then all of a sudden I hear about the WNBA boycotting games. I'm just like, God. Could you imagine if the MLS actually did that? And then Atlanta and Inter Miami decided to boycott their game. And here's the thing. I'm not going to make this a political video because this should not be about politics. Sports should not be about politics. If you're allowing politics to affect your sports, you're doing something wrong. And honestly, I'm not a big fan of most American sports right now because a lot of them are doing stupid stuff to appease people. I'm just like, okay, you're appeasing like half, if that, of your fans. Like, you're not actually doing anything that's going to make a change, make things better. You're just not. I'm sorry, but you're not. Most of what you're doing is either stupid or it's not going to make a real change. It's just putting on the idea of, guys, we want to support you, so here's what we're doing. And that's not what sports should be about. Sports should be about sports. You want to watch teams play. You want to support a team and watch them play and hope they win. And instead, all of a sudden it became about politics. And you could say it's not about politics, but it is. Because we hardly ever see them boycotting games for anything else until now. And you could say, oh, well, this was just that bad. There haven't been other instances that were as bad as what happened. There have been plenty. This was no different than most of the other instances that have been talked about. And again, I know I have a different opinion than some people, but here's the thing. Even if you take the politics out of it, even if you take all of that, what is boycotting a game going to do? And most people say, well, they're taking a stand. They're saying we're not going to play because we don't stand for this. They're using their voices. Okay, I'm going to combat 2 things with this because I've wanted to get this rant out, and so now here's my chance. First of all, them boycotting a game, all of you people that are sitting there going, oh yeah, good job Atlanta, good job Miami, yeah, I'm proud of our sports. What are you proud of? Well, they use their voices. Okay, these people are being paid millions of dollars The clubs, the players are being paid millions of dollars a year. Some of the players may not be getting millions, but a couple of them are. They're getting paid so much money to not do their jobs because they're making a stand. Think about that for a second. This is their job. This is what they're paid to do. These clubs get paid money from TV contractors and stuff. They get paid this money to show their games. Players get paid to play games. And they boycotted a game. Do you think they just gave up their paycheck that week? No. Of course not. Most of the contracts with the TV deals, most of them, they get paid at the beginning of the season. Some of them, they still got TV time, even though the game wasn't happening. The TV time was just them talking about them boycotting and why they're doing it and what they're standing for and all that. They still got paid for that. So all of you people that are out there going, yeah, thanks Atlanta, you guys are great for supporting this. Really think about what they did. They got paid to not do their job. Imagine if you, as just a random everyday citizen, went up to your boss and said, hey boss, so I don't like a lot of what's been going on in the world right now, so I'm going to not work today to make a stand. You know, me and a couple of the guys have been talking, we're going to not work today to make a stand and speak out against this. But could you still pay us for today? What do you think would happen? And let's just say for a second we translate this to another business. You know, let's say for a second fast food restaurants just said, you know what? We're going to take a stand. We're boycotting today. We're not going to serve any food today. Can you imagine the outrage from people? But because this is a sports thing, and people, for some reason, give a pass to sports not wanting to play because of reasons, like, for some reason that's okay? For them to not do their job, still get paid because they're making a statement. And that's the second thing I want to talk about. What statement are you really making? When you don't play to support a cause, what statement do you really make? Because what you do is you divide the fans. The fans that aren't in agreement with you now are pissed off that you didn't play. The fans that aren't in agreement with you are like, yay, go Atlanta. And the fights are happening. I got on there to say, I don't know if I can support you guys anymore on Twitter. I got blasted by some fans. I'm like, here's the thing. This is what you're creating. This is the atmosphere you create because guess what? Our country is really divided right now. We don't need things that are going to divide us more. We need things that are going to bring us together. Sports is something that could do that. If they would leave the politics out of it, if they would stop supporting one side over the other, the sports could bring us together. Imagine that. But no, that's not what they want to do. They want to take a stand because it makes them look good in the social media eye. Because the NBA did it, so now we're going to do it too. The NBA is stupid. The NBA won't even talk about how awful China is. Hello? You're really going to take a model from them? Like, it doesn't make any sense because, let's talk about, again, I'm not going to make this political, but let's just say for a second that you doing this does get a message to the racists out there. What do you think the message is going to be? Oh, because I'm racist, you're not going to play? Because I'm a terrible person, you're not going to play? Oh my gosh. Well, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I guess I'm just going to change now. And that's what I just don't get the idea behind it. I don't understand how people can think, how anybody, a part of this can think, oh, well, I guess if teams just don't play, then the races are all just going to change their mind. There's always going to be terrible people out there. You giving them the time of day, you giving them attention and press is only fueling them. It's like online trolls. If you comment back to an online troll, guess what? They're going to give you about 10 more comments because you're giving them fuel. You're giving them attention. If you just don't give them the attention they're craving, they would probably just not exist anymore. Eventually, people would just be like, racism, what was that? Because you giving it attention doesn't do anything. Aside from giving it more attention. What was the quote? I think it was Orson Welles who said it. Bad press is still press. Like, and don't get me wrong, I get the idea of, well, if we just ignore it, then we're ignoring the problem. I'm not saying be ignorant about it. But teams boycotting playing doesn't do anything. It doesn't change anybody's minds. It doesn't just all of a sudden make all the terrible people out there nice people. Hell, I would love it if there's no more pedophilia. I would love it if there were no more serial killers. I would love it if all crime could just disappear. But there's always going to be terrible people. And yeah, this is also bad. Racism is bad. Completely understand. But again, sports is something that should bring us together. It should not be something where you don't play because you want to support this cause, which honestly is not even really a cause that fights against racism, if we're being completely honest. So you want to support that. Well, you're dividing your fan base now. You're dividing it between the people that are in support that are in support of that organization and those that are not. And again, whatever happened, we're probably not even going to know the full story as far as the incident that caused this. Because again, some media outlets are saying it was based on race. Some media outlets are saying, no, it was not based on race. We're not going to know. But to boycott, to not do your job because of this, it really put me in a sour mood. And so I'm just like, I don't know if I can support them. I mean, I'm not supporting, it's not like I'm just like, oh, I can't support Atlanta because they did this. But I'll still watch the Falcons. Like, all of the American sports right now are being stupid because they're letting politics decide their actions. They're letting politics make their decisions for them. And I'm just kind of fed up with it. And the fact that Atlanta let that seep in now, I'm just like, God, I'm pissed. You know, I didn't want politics to mess up MLS, but now it has. And then, after all of that, so I'm already pissed about that. The next game I didn't watch. I was just like, you know what? I'm just not going to watch this game. I'm going to stand firm on my beliefs. I think what they did was stupid, and I think I'm not going to watch. And then they lose to Orlando. The one thing that you can't do if you're Atlanta United is lose to Orlando. We lost to Orlando at home, 3-1. And then, after that, they go and sell P.D. Martinez. I'm not the biggest P.D. fan. I think I've made that clear in some of my other reviews. I don't think he's as good a player as I think we were hoping to get. But right now, he was our best player. And you sold him. And I can't act like I'm surprised that we tied our next game 0-0 against Inter Miami, the one team that I said was probably worse than us. Now they're probably just as good as we are. Or, well, I guess we should say we're just as bad as they are, because we dropped down to their level. And then we tied Orlando 1-1 somehow. Don't know how. I haven't watched the game. I watched a little bit of the Miami game just to kind of see a couple of the players and like see if anybody's developed, and it was all the same. And then we go and somehow tie Orlando again. I didn't watch that game either, but I'm just like, great, we're doing good at drawing now after winning and then losing and then drawing and drawing. Good job, guys. We can tie. Just, if that's... And the thing is, what was even worse was that people were actually excited to tie. Like, people were literally excited to get a draw against Orlando. Like, do you remember whenever, like, it was embarrassing to draw against Orlando, and now somehow they've overtaken us because we were stupid with some of our transfers and stuff? And so, all in all, like, I'm just kind of at that point. I'm just like, I tried to give them time. I tried to be that fan that says, you know what, things are not the best right now. Even under DeBoer, I wasn't happy. But I'm like, you know what, at least we're winning games. I'll try to be positive. I'll try to hope that maybe he can turn it around next year. Maybe if we bring in some players that he needs, maybe we can turn it around. Maybe we can fix things. But then you lose Joseph Martinez, and that was the only thing that was really keeping him afloat last season, was the fact that Joseph was still the best striker in the league. And so he was saving him in some games. But now that you lost him, we're not as good of a team. And you didn't do anything, and then you got sacked. And I'm like, all right, so who are we going to bring in to replace him? Who are we going to bring in that's going to finally bring us back to where we deserve to be? And then we decided to go with the U23 coach for the time being as the interim. Okay. So we taking an off year? Are we just going to take an off year then? You guys are just going to go with this U23 coach and be like, hey, you know what? We'll just take an off year. That's why the MLS is stupid. That's why the MLS is the worst league in the world because there's no relegation. There's no penalty for having the year we're having. If there were, the board would be like, shit, let's get it together. Let's go bring in some good players. Let's go bring in a really good coach. We got to get it together because this is not going to work out. But no, we don't have any worry. We don't have any reason to be worried right now because if we end up in the bottom of the table, we'll just get a better draft pick next year. We're good, guys. But I think, honestly, what's going to end up happening is probably the most detrimental thing to the club. You're going to lose a lot of fans. And yeah, some of them might come back once the results pick back up. Some of them might be like, oh, they're fun again? Yeah, sure, I'll go watch. But what does that say about your club that you decide to just take a year off and have one of the worst years for a club that is coming off of, we won the MLS Cup, and then we won the whatever it was when we beat Club America or whatever, the Campeones Cup, I think is what it was. We won that. We won the Open Cup. We did all this stuff last year. It's like, oh guys, great year. Let's get even better. Let's go back and win the MLS Cup again. And we've won one game this season. I don't know. Do they count the Nashville game from before the break? I don't know for sure. But so far, since the break, since the shutdown, you've won one game. I mean, this is off of the back, again, season where we won the Open Cup. We won the Campeones Cup. And now you've won one game since lockdown. It's the problem with the MLS. The top teams are not always the top team. They could be the top team one year, and the next year they could be the worst team. Because there's just no real way. There's no real reward for being the top teams. Yeah, you get some extra money. Yeah, you get to play in the CONCACAF Champions League, which is, that's good. You get some extra money there. But if you're the worst team, you get the draft pick, one of the first draft picks for next year. So, nice little bonus to help you get back up. Just like, why can we not actually make it a league where doing poorly means you face consequences? Doing poorly means you're not in the league anymore. Doing poorly means you don't get rewarded, you get punished. And that's honestly how I feel right now, is that we don't have any desire as a club to get better. So why should I want to watch? And that was the one thing I was the most concerned about whenever it was first announced Atlanta's getting an MLS club. Please don't let it be like every other MLS club. At first it wasn't. At first it was exciting. At first we were better than most of the MLS, if not the MLS as a whole. We seemed like a club that was going to bring the MLS to be a better league, because clubs were having to try to keep up with us. Clubs that were in the league for years were trying to keep up with us. And I'm just like, this is going to bring the league up. No. 2 years later, we got DeBoer, we got comfortable, and now we're back down with the rest of the MLS. And we're an MLS club. And then the next year, now we're one of the worst MLS clubs. And that's basically all I have to say about that. So again, I don't want this to become a political thing. If you disagree with me about their boycotting and all that, that's fine. We can disagree. But me personally, I don't think it was a smart decision. I don't think it really does anything. I don't think that not playing, not doing your job is worthy of praise. I think it's stupid. And on top of all of that, it's just we're not a good team. We're not fun to watch anymore. Yeah, you could say, well, you're just a fair weather fan. No, I'm not. I gave them time. I said last season, we're not a good team right now. We're scraping by the skin of our teeth. We're not good under DeBoer. I've said it so many times, and I wanted to see a change, and I wanted to see a change, and I wanted to see a change. And then the change happened, and now we're a worse team because of the change. I'm just like, well, clearly they don't care. Whoever's in the front office, whoever is making the transfer decisions, whoever's making the firing and hiring decisions, whoever it is, they've either lost the plot or they just don't care anymore. They've got their MLS Cup in the trophy cabinet, and they're just like, we're good, guys. We won the MLS Cup. We're proud of that. We've got bragging rights. That's all we really need, right? We don't need to do anything else. We're good. We're good. And if that's honestly the extent of what we're looking for, well, I'm done as a supporter then. So if things do start to change, I'll probably do another review about it. I'll probably talk about some of the changes being made. I'm keeping my ear to the ground about Atlanta United. I'm watching the results at least and seeing what's going on. But that's about the extent of how much I want to keep up with it because I'm a lover of the sport. I love to see good soccer. I love to see good teams playing well. And right now, the MLS doesn't have that. All the MLS games that I've seen glimpses of, it's been bad. It's not been fun to watch. It's been American soccer. And that's not what I wanted to see. So, those are all my opinions, though. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Again, this will probably be my last Atlanta United video. At least, again, I don't know what's got to change. I don't know what's got to happen for me to want to support them again. But right now, I'm just not there. I don't want to support a league that is not looking to get better. That's just looking to add teams because, it's more money, guys. More money. That's all they care about. So, but yeah, let me know what you guys think, though. And I guess leave a like and subscribe if you want to watch my other videos. Got a lot of TV show reviews. You can go watch those instead. I don't know. But anyways, I'll see you guys later. Peace out.